Okay, the first thing you need to do is you need to set up the vacuum control. To set up the vacuum control, that's the vacuum blade and there's a knob on this side. So what you want to do is if you close it, then it's completely, the vacuum pressures will be very high and it'll suck all the nibs and the husk. And if you have it fully open, then it's not going to be able to vacuum out any of the husk. So the setting that we like for the most part is about a 1/8 of an inch opening, 1/8 to 1/4 inch opening on the vacuum deflector plate. And then once you get that, I think this is a 13 or a 12 millimeter nut. You need to cinch it down, tighten it up nice and tight. So this setting pretty much stays in place. Once that's done, the second thing you need to do is start the machine up. And with the machine started up, you need to keep it at about 15 hertz and make sure it's running in forward direction, okay? If it's running in reverse direction, it's not gonna run anything. The way to turn on the machine is, that's the power switch. Sometimes the e-stop will be pushed, so you may wanna pull the e-stop out. If it's pushed in, you need to pull it out. And then turn the machine on. Once the machine's turned on, make sure the forward is on and then hit the run button. And we like the speed of about 15 hertz. 15 to 20 is all you need to run. And then you see it's running in the clockwise direction. And then the next thing we need to do is we need to set up the cracker plate. To set up the cracker plate, what you want to do is you want to open this nuts up all the way out, okay? And then you need to rotate it, and rotate it very gently to a point where you will feel the cracker plate touching and you can hear it right there, the cutting system. Once it touches it, there you go, it's touching it. Once it touches it, then what you want to do is you want to back out like about 6 rotations, okay? That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, and that's 5. Let's start with 5 and see what happens. And then you want to tighten it. Do the same thing on this side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then tighten that up. Okay, so now what you're doing is you're actually increasing the gap between the cracking system and the cutting system, okay? And once you've done that, then you need a 10 millimeter wrench, and then just give it a quick tight so it stays in place, okay? There you go, that's good. Once that's done, and the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start the vacuum, okay? Once you start the vacuum, take a handful of nibs, beans, and then run it through the system. Let's see what you get. Okay? Now you can see there are a lot of beans that are uncrushed, right? Which means that the opening that we gave is too large. Okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna open this up. Okay, and we give it 5 openings, right? So now we're gonna go back in, say maybe 1 full rotation, okay? 1 full rotation, and then we're gonna try it again, okay? Same thing, tighten it up. Take a handful of beans, roasted beans, and then see what you get. So now, the last time we had 4 or 5 uncrushed beans, now we have 1. So now what we're gonna do is, for the next run, we're gonna go back in. Okay, we're gonna go back in like another maybe half a turn, okay? So this goes like that, and we're gonna go like this, okay? And this is for every bean will be different, every origin may be different because the size of the beans will vary, right? So you just have to try a few times. The setup takes about 10 minutes. And then you can take another handful, and then we still have some large beans, okay? So we're gonna empty that and we're gonna go again. And this time I think we're gonna go be a little bit ambitious. We're gonna go one full turn and see what happens, okay? So that's about a full turn right there. Okay. And then we're gonna try another handful. Now we see pretty much everything is broken down. You don't see any unbroken bean, and you may see something like that, which is a flat. So we want to even break these flats, okay? So what we're going to do is, now we're pretty much there. What we want to do is we want to go in maybe a quarter turn, okay? Not much, just a quarter. So you see what we did here is we're slowly gaining on it, okay? So watch my hand. So it's here, and I'm gonna go like that. So it's almost like a 45-degree angle, right? Lock it up, and then same thing here. I'm gonna go like that, right? And then tighten it up. Okay, I'm gonna take another handful. Gotten everything nice and even cracked, and I don't see any husk in the bin. It's all just beans. I don't see no husk. So I think our vacuum setting is good and our cutting system is good. One other thing you may also want to check is your vacuum dust collector. You don't want to see any nibs in here, okay? And you want your husk to be as big as possible. The bigger the size of the husks, I'm gonna show you right here. The bigger the size of the husks means that you're gonna have no nibs in there. Plus it's gonna be very dry. So one of the key things you gotta do is you gotta keep your beans nice and cold. You don't want warm beans. So if you're gonna roast your beans today, you need to winnow it, crack and winnow it the next day, not the same day, okay? That's it, that's the setup.